Gobble gobble! Welcome into the Thanksgiving episode of Laker Connections right here on WTOP10. I'm Zach Malamud.
And I'm Ryan Joyce. And Zach, I'm about a week away from stuffing my face with some turkey.
Yeah,
I'm ready
Ryan.
to go. Thanksgiving.
Well, Ryan, turkeys can fly, Lakers can't, but that's besides the point. It's time for the Wheelhouse Wire. Take it away.
Well, the Oswego State Lakers men's hockey team will hope to have continued success before Turkey Day with a visit Friday to Tuttle North Ice Arena to face off for SUNY Brockport, and then we'll regroup and lace them up against rival Geneseo Saturday in the Deb. The Lakers have won 3 in a row, and in that stretch have had 4+ goals in each of their games. The Lakers will try to bring the winning streak to 5 after 2 tough games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Ryan, and 2 very tough ones. You brought it up. Brockport is first. Brockport sitting at 2-3 so far, 1-2 in the SUNYAC. 3.3 goals per game for them, 4.0 goals allowed per game. And then Geneseo is red hot to start this season, 5-1, 2-1 in conference, and 3.8 goals per game, 2.2 goals against per game. 2 very big games for the Lakers. Brockport's not been great to start the year. The Lakers really need to take advantage of those defensive problems that Brockport is having. As for Jenny, most likely going to be junior Adam Harris in net. He let up 4 goals on 21 shots at Plattsburgh. Lots of inexperience in net. Oswego can definitely capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean, these 2 games will be pretty different for Oswego. The first one against Brockport, a team that's really struggling on the year. We see the graphic on there. But for Oswego in Brockport, it's really going to be the 2 brothers for them, Skylar and Spencer Flansburgh. They're top 3 in points there for SUNY Brockport, so they're kind of lead the way there. But for Oswego, should hopefully be an easy one there. And Jenny, you got to come home and play in a really tough environment in the Zeal. Jenny's going to come in. And last year, Oswego beat Jenny in the road, but lost an OT thriller here in the Deb. And for Oswego, they should have the advantage. Against both teams, they lead in face-off 57% on the year. And Geneseo, they have a tough goaltender. It's a freshman, Jacob Torgner. I mean, leading the SUNYAC in goals against average and in the save percentage. So it should be probably a low-scoring game here because he's been so great in net. But for Oswego, the past couple games, they've been scoring a lot. So they should pretty much be able to get in the offensive zone and attack there.
Yeah, Ryan, it's still a question of who's going to end up playing for Jenny. They've had some problems, but that big game against Plattsburgh that they lost have some motivation in the SUNYAC to come back after that one. The Oswego State women's hockey team grabbed their first SUNYAC win of the season on Friday with a 5-1 victory down in Morrisville. The Lakers had 5 different scorers in this one, with both Rachel Corbett and Ashlyn McGrath putting up a goal and an assist. Oswego State outshot Morrisville 41-13 on the evening. Ryan, a huge win for the Lakers after last week's struggles.
Yeah, I mean, great win there for Oswego. Looking at it, 5 goals in this one, 41 shots compared to 13. Oswego, so far, the women's team in the year, they've really played great defense, but in terms of offense, haven't really been able to get it done kind of in the offensive zone. In this game, 4 different individual goal scorers from Oswego, so you like seeing kind of the disparity there from each player kind of figuring it out for themselves on the offensive end. And for Oswego, I mean, Kirikas's back-to-back years with goals against Morrisville. She's my player to watch, so I'm going to pump myself up a little bit there last week. But Matt Cole had that empty net goal, but they finally get it together on the offensive end. They've been so great on the defensive end all year, not really allowing a lot of goals in, but just in terms of getting the puck in the back of the net, just haven't been great. And this one really showed that they can do it.
Yeah, definitely. A great win for Oswego. Goals were pretty much the big problem a couple of weeks ago. Could not get one past any of the netminders they went up against in Plattsburgh. And Canton certainly was not the problem in this one. 5 goals should be a huge boost heading into this weekend. A lot of confidence for this team if they can continue to score goals. They got really a couple of 2 tough matchups that they're going to have to deal with at the weekend. A big boost of confidence with those goals. Looking ahead to this weekend, the Lakers women's hockey team will get arguably their toughest test of this season, traveling down to SUNY Cortland on Friday before coming back to Oswego for Saturday's matchup against Buffalo State. Ryan, what's it going to take to knock off Cortland?
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty uphill battle here for Oswego. I mean, looking at it, 6-0 Cortland, 5.3 goals per game, and they allow under a goal a game as well, too. Buff State will be looking nice for Oswego. But on the Cortland end, they have 5 members on their team, 5 players in the SUNYAC ranking. They have all 5 players in the top of the plus and minus ranking. All 5 players are Cortland players, so they've been unbelievable this year. And Molly Gorgon, back-to-back SUNYAC Women's Goaltender of the Week. This is a tough conference to win back-to-back Goaltender of the Week. That's incredible for this team. And then on the Buff State end, Oswego, hoping they get that upset against Cortland, but then the next one, they've won 10 in a row over Buff State, so a team that Oswego's had played well in the past, and they played Buff State last year. 9 goals twice in that one, so they've showed kind of dominance over them. And also on the Oswego end, going back to Cortland, they played the closest game for Cortland was against Morrisville this year, an OT win for Cortland, so that should be good for us. We go with the confidence going forward, get to this weekend.
Yeah, it's all going to come down for me to special teams this weekend. Red Dragons 43% on the power play this season versus the Lakers, who are 1 for 16 right now. They cannot take a lot of penalties. Cortland will definitely make them pay in this one. If they can get the job done on special teams on Friday, Saturday should probably be a breeze, as Buffalo State's struggling on the power play as well.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's Wheelhouse Wire. After the break, we will update you on the hardwood action this past week as basketball season is officially upon us. Stay tuned. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill
Should we
told me it
tell
was
him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
Welcome back to Laker Connections on WTOP 10. And Ryan, we're back into basketball season. Take us to Max Zeal.
And Zach, I'm so happy. Well, Zach, the men's basketball team has rolled to their start in the season with 3 straight wins, including a Max Zeal championship under their belt, and awards to Jeremiah Sparks for tournament MVP, and all tournament team honors to Cartier Bowman, their center. The Lakers have scored over 70-plus points in all 3 games, and so far it seems that the offensive attack has been super lethal for the opposition.
Yeah, Ryan, a perfect start for Oswego, and you had to say heading into the weekend, probably their toughest game on the schedule was going to be the RPI Engineers. In that game, a team that scored 89 points the day before against Cuca, and they've been terrific the last 2 years in D3 basketball. The Lakers held them to 45 points in the championship game. Obviously, Coach Leone will probably be frustrated about the defense in the Clarkson game a couple of days later, but still very early in the year. Lakers still figuring things out. A huge win for them in Zeal in the tournament, and then a big win against Clarkson. They'll be 100% pretty soon as the season goes on.
I mean, a dominant weekend overall for Oswego. Beat teams by a margin of 25, and it was really, looking at it defensively, they really got it going. The first 10 minutes of the first 2 games, really slow for this Oswego team. They kind of came in, not saying they were playing bad offensively, but they really let the other team in there. They put that full court press on and it really shut them down a little bit. The only game, the Clarkson game, it wasn't a bad defensive game. It was just the fact that they were making shots. Jack Delgetty there for Clarkson, he had a lot of threes in that one. I think up to 6 threes for himself in that one too. So played a really good game for himself. And I'm going to mention Julian Crittenden. He was so important for this Oswego team. Didn't play last year, but came into this year and really gelled in with that defensive kind of liability. Him and Josh Thigpen kind of came in the game, made some plays, and helped on the defensive, and that led to the offensive end. The Oswego State men's basketball team has been a top-tier program in the country for the past couple of years, but their one crutch has been against the Nazareth Golden Flyers, who has previously taken care of Oswego in 2 straight years on the road and at home. For Coach Leone and some veteran Laker players, this game is certainly one that was circled on the calendar in November.
And you said it, Ryan. It's circled on the calendar as we look at these 2 teams. Oswego at 3-0. Points per game sitting at 89.7. The opponent's points per game is at 64.7. And Nazareth sitting at 1-1. They scored 79.5 points per game in their first 2 games and then allowed 68.5 points per game to their opponents. It should be a really good game. I think both games, you look at the last couple of years, they've been decided by a basket, so probably going to come down to the wire once again. The Lakers, on their end, need to make sure that it doesn't come down to the wire. They're on their home floor, back in their gym where they've been dominant the last couple of years. Similar to how the Lakers play, Nazareth eats up on turnovers. The Lakers need to avoid mistakes and be smart with the ball.
Yeah, I think the past couple of years, watching the game, I went to the game last year on the road versus Naz, and it was really that down-low presence for Naz that really hurt Oswego. I think in addition, like Elijah Hardison on this team, a guy who can come in. Cartier Bowman, yeah, he can play the big man role, 6'6" guy there. He's a big guy down low. But in terms of having 2 guys that can come in there and really dominate down low, it's going to be huge for them. They lost Jonathan Park, who was kind of their main guy last year, the main down-low presence for this Naz team. Jalen Savage is back there for Naz. They're 1-2 in the year, not the greatest start. Can't take it easy. They have the number here in Oswego the past couple of years. Jalen Savage, he had 24 versus Oswego last year. So I think having a guy like Aki Anderson in there to make plays, and I think Oswego should let them shoot threes too as well. They didn't do that great so far this year.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. We move to the Oswego women's basketball team, who is coming off their first win of the season. The Lakers traveled down to Alfred, New York, where they absolutely dominated the Alfred State Pioneers 67-39 on Saturday. Oswego really spread the ball in this one, Ryan, with no player in double digits on the evening.
And you love to see that as a team. Sydney Host here, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. She was the leading scorer for this team. For Oswego, they had 6 players over 6 points. Not one person was dominating. It was kind of an all-around team effort, which you like to see. In that first one, really struggled against Alfred in that first game. Had a bad second half. This one, they complete turnaround team effort, like I mentioned. Shot 43% from the field, 27% they shot in Alfred, so a big jump there for himself, and 34 bench points, which is super dominant. And then they also, 34 points in the paint, huge for Oswego, getting it done there, down low.
Yeah, you talk about a quick start in Sydney Host with a great game, like you mentioned, 28-6 after their first quarter. They spread the ball around. That's huge for this team. A number of players who can put the ball in the basket for this team. And Sydney Host, like you said, great minutes off the bench. As long as this team limits turnovers, they really can make some noise in the SUNYAC this year, Ryan. The women's basketball team will look to add to their win total this weekend as they take part in the Morrisville tip-off tournament Friday and Saturday. The Lakers will go up against the Amherst Mammoths on Friday. Amherst ranked just outside the top 25 in the women's D3 poll, Ryan. They won't be an easy matchup for the Lakers.
No, not at all. For Oswego, this tourney is going to really show kind of what they're made of. Really young Oswego team here. Looking at, they're playing against Amherst. Only played 1 game this year, but was dominant in that one. 73 points for Gordon College. They were 17-8 last year. They made it to their quarterfinal in their conference. So they're a team that can win, and they're bringing back Corey Barak, who was the leading scorer for them this year and was the leading scorer for them last year. So she's got a couple honors there. All-region second-team honors from D3Hoops.com, one of their main kind of players there too. And they're a really good three-point shooting team. So for Oswego, play defense on that perimeter. 30% of the team this year and also last year, so you really have to watch them.
Yeah, arguably their toughest test of the season, a team that's been rated very highly in D3 the last couple of years. These are 2 teams that aren't fantastic when it comes to rebounding. And for the Lakers, what I said before, limiting turnovers, huge in this one. Amherst forced 26 turnovers in their first game in their season opener. Lakers cannot do the same there.
Well, that'll do it for basketball talk. But after this break, we're excited to have Ryan Dickinson from the Oswego State men's hockey team joining us live here in studio. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss it. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Laker Connection. Joining us now is senior defenseman from the Oswego State men's hockey team, Ryan Dickinson. Ryan, thanks for coming on the show. How are we doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Having a good time?
Yeah.
Ready to go for this weekend?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, we're ready to go.
Awesome.
Let's get started.
So you came from Ohio State. What was really the process in committing to Oswego?
Yeah, so it was actually a unique situation for me. Trent Grimshaw, he's one of my good buddies back home, and I was in the portal and kind of exploring my options, and Trent told me all about Oswego, showed me some of the old Hockey Night in Oswego clips and the whiteout game, and got on a Zoom call with Eddie and Whitey, and now I'm here.
Perfect, perfect. All right. What has been the message? You guys have a great start to the year so far. What's kind of been the message from Coach Gosick and the captains, just kind of keeping it up here? You got a really big weekend coming up. What's kind of the message from the team?
Yeah, so our whole identity this year is kind of just taking everything day by day, because we have a veteran team. You know, we have I think it's like 16 seniors or something. There's a lot of us. So everything is just about controlling what we can control, and that's the day at hand, and we just go from there.
Cool.
Well, I know you have Brockport first, and that's probably the focus game by game, but I have to ask you about the Jenny game. They're coming to the Deb this weekend. What's the feeling like after the success you guys had against them last season? Obviously, the loss in overtime, you guys probably have some motivation to come back from that one.
Yeah, no, it was good. I remember like being a sophomore and the upperclassmen talking about how hard Jenny was to play against. So last year to be able to go into their building, beat them there. Wish we could have done it at home, but boys definitely want to try and redeem themselves Saturday night.
Definitely. And what can you kind of say to the environment we're going to have here on Saturday? It's got to be nice to have a lot of fans backing you up.
There's nothing better. It's my favorite place to play, best environment I've ever been a part of. The Laker faithful, they're awesome.
Okay, we got the game plan questions out of the way. Let's get started. What is one song or a kind of genre you're going to listen to before the game? What's getting you hyped up? What do you listen to in the earbuds?
It's the go-to.
I normally just listen to whatever's on.
Okay. Okay.
But on my short little car ride to the rink, it's normally just a little bit of J. Cole, Middle Child.
Okay.
Nice.
Gotta love
Awesome.
J. Cole.
Yeah.
Shout out there.
All right, I got one. Pre-game meal on a game day, is it the same? Does it vary? What's your go-to for a pre-game meal?
I'm pretty straightforward, just chicken and rice and some broccoli.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
A little Chick-fil-A sauce. And
do you have like the same, is it like the same daily process too? Do you get up and you know kind of hour by hour what you're going to do, or is it kind of just on the flow?
Yeah, for the most part. I think so I'm an early guy.
Okay.
I like to get to the rink. I like to get settled in. And as soon as I get to the rink, probably around like 3 hours before puck drop, and from there it's 30-minute bike ride, tape my stick, and then I just start hanging out and enjoy my time.
Sweet, gotta love it. All right, this might be a little controversial one here. Beside yourself, who do you think has the best flow on the team? Who's got the best lettuce in the back?
It's a lot of them.
Our team.
I know you don't want to leave anyone out, but is there anyone like in particular you're like, I really like his style, just the way he's, rocking it?
I'm a Connor Sleeth guy.
Okay.
I think Connor Sleeth does it really well. I think he's well put together. His hair's never too long. It's always just right.
Do you think you got the best stash in the team? Do you think that's kind of your...
I don't know. Our new goalie, Milberg. He's got a really nosy. Noah Bull. He grows a really good one, but he just doesn't keep it year round.
I'm gonna say, I gotta see Milberg's the next time I'm looking down there. Yeah, check it out. Yeah,
Millsy's is good.
definitely. But I mean, just looking one more time at this weekend, tomorrow's game. Let's talk about it. Just Brockport. I mean, they're coming into the game struggling, but they're on their home ice. Going to be a tough one, maybe at their place.
Yeah, no, Brockport's a good team. They have been the last 2 years. Eddie talks really highly about him, and he's good friends with their coach. So they're well coached. They're a good team. So it'll be a good matchup.
Well, we
Ryan, I really appreciate you being on here. Yeah,
thanks for
hope
having
to
me,
see you on
gentlemen.
TOP a little bit more often.
Yeah.
Get you on a call, get you back on the show.
Definitely, for sure. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for joining us on Laker Connections, but stay tuned after the break as we head into the Thanksgiving edition of Laker Showdown on WTOP 10.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and bleeding.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
Welcome back to Laker Connections. I'm your moderator, Max Ramita, and it's now time for everyone's favorite segment, Laker Showdown. Gentlemen, you guys ready?
Let's do it. 2-2.
Matt,
2-2.
it's fall, y'all. Why would I
fall,
not
y'all.
be able to get ready for this? Let's go. Come on.
It's
2 in a row
fall,
for me.
y'all.
Come on.
All right. Just in case you somehow just stumbled onto Laker Connections or you just need a refresher on how this segment works, I'm going to ask 3 questions, and these 2 are going to have a yap contest over them. So first question, here we go. The men's hockey team is clicking on all cylinders going into their Saturday return to the Deb against the Geneseo Knights. The Lakers' game plan so far, pour on the gravy, and they've done nothing short of it, averaging 4.4 goals per game. However, this Geneseo team has been a beast on the defensive. So I ask you guys, will Saturday's home game be another high-scoring affair for the Lakers? You brought the It's Fall Y'all sign. We'll go with you first, Zach.
It's fall, y'all. All right.
Y'all. There you go.
So I'm looking at it. I do think the Lakers, looking at this weekend, there will be a lot of offense overall against Jenny. There's still a question of who will start for Oswego in net. I mentioned Adam Harris before. He led up to Plattsburgh. He might start for Jenny. Both these offenses are rolling, averaging more than 3.8 goals per game. I mean, just looking at the goalies alone in this one will 100% be high scoring. I'm expecting a real shootout here.
So they played them twice last year, 4-3 in both those games. I'm kind of expecting a low-scoring affair, but it doesn't mean they're not going to be able to score well. I think we're just really 2 good hockey teams playing. Jenny this year has given up more than 2 goals only once this year. So goaltending, you kind of mentioned, they've had some great goaltenders so far this year. And Morrisville and Buff State, yes, Oswego scored a lot in that one, but that's because of a lot of penalties from those 2 sides, and they were really kind of, letting Oswego get in the offensive zone a ton. So I think it's going to be a really close game. I'm expecting we'll throw a prediction out there, I guess, maybe like a 3-2 kind of score. Obviously, Oswego is going to get the win here, but I'm expecting a low-score affair, but I think the defense on both sides have been great so far this year that we're going to go that way.
It's going to be 6-4 Oswego. There's going to be a ton of goals. I'm telling you, this team, cannot be stopped on the offensive end. They keep scoring goals in big games, and I think that's huge. Geneseo let up a ton of goals in a big game on the road in Plattsburgh. Oswego's going to do the same.
I mean, that's cool and all, but like I would say, I mean, Hobart was a really good team too, and obviously we're not comparing Hobart to Jenny, but I'm just kind of saying like two really good teams. I mean, Oswego's it's going to be a really defensive kind of matchup there, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair.
I don't know. I think I'm going to agree with Zach on this one. I think it is going to be a high-scoring game. Both offenses are just going ham right now. But we'll go to the next question. You got some time to redeem yourself.
Nice turkey pun there, too. I don't know if you meant to do it, but.
Absolutely not. Anyway, on the hardwood, the men's basketball team looks to continue their hot start as they face the Nazareth Golden Flyers, a team they have not had much success against in recent years. In order for this team to gobble up another win, who or what will have to be an X factor for the squad? Ryan, go ahead.
Oh, and it's the defense. I mean, I was talking about it earlier. Aki Anderson didn't play that first game for Oswego. Second game and third game locked down defensively for this guy. I mean, last year, Oswego kind of, struggled on guarding Naz. I mean, I mentioned Park and then also the other player, the guard there for Naz. They scored a lot. I mean, defensively, they weren't really getting it done, and when they weren't playing good in the offensive end, the defensive end really suffered for them. And Naz, yes, they're not having the best of year, but their two top guys are also offensive dudes on their team, guards on their team as well. So I think Aki Anderson and the defense can be a big factor. He's a chameleon. He kind of fits in every role. Didn't score in that second game for Oswego too much, and in that last game for Oswego, scored a lot, so he can kind of play every role. And defensively, one of the best in the SUNYAC, one of the best in the country. I'm going to go out there and say that.
It's the turnover battle, Ryan. I mean, 2 years ago, the Lakers had a season-high 17 turnovers against Nazareth. Last year, only 11 turnovers, but 5 of those came in the second half, 2 of them in the final 2 minutes of the game. Nazareth plus 5.5 in turnover margin to start this season. Lakers turn the ball over versus Naz. It's really going to be a hard game for them to win. I'm looking at that. Yes, Aki Anderson, great on the defensive end, except they just let up 80 points to Clarkson. How does that make sense?
Yeah, hey, Zach, how do you get a turnover again? You play defense, right? Is that how you get turnovers? You get turnovers.
You just said they play great defense against.
But if you play good defense, you get more turnovers.
Matt?
See, I like the turnover take, but what I really liked during the Clarkson game was when Oswego was on the press. So I'll take the defense.
And it wasn't bad defense from Oswego. Clarkson just shot the lights out that day. What quick you do,
All right.
Tie ball game. Here we go. Week from today's Thanksgiving, we're gonna all celebrate. But every year we hear all about turkey, turkey, turkey. There's a lot of great dishes that don't get enough love. So for our last question tonight, I ask, what is the single most underrated Thanksgiving food? Zach, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to bring one back from home here. Sweet potatoes layered with marshmallows on top. One of the greatest things I think I've ever had during like a family holiday. Like unbelievable stuff. I'm in love with it. So I'm looking forward to that this week or next week. Sweet potatoes with marshmallows. I don't know anything that beats that. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to go with homemade garlic mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
That sounds pretty good, right, Zach? I hear you over
Except
there.
It's sweet potatoes.
You're excited, huh?
Sweet
I mean,
potatoes.
what do you do on Thanksgiving? You have your turkey, you have your bread, you have your mashed potatoes. What do you do with the mashed potatoes? You put the mashed potatoes on the turkey, and then you eat it all together. Homemade garlic mashed potatoes. Who doesn't like that?
You know you could put sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top of turkey as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, with the mashed potatoes soaking into the turkey, that's top tier food. Top tier Thanksgiving moment for me.
That's fair, except the sweet potatoes are hot as well. They're also going to sink in. They're also going to say with the marshmallows. How do you?
I don't know, but the garlic flavor on turkey.
I love garlic mashed potatoes. Nothing will beat sweet potatoes with marshmallows. It's an unbelievable
Except for
dish.
garlic mashed potatoes.
No, it's sweet potatoes with marshmallows. How do you not like marshmallows on? That's unbelievable.
Listen, we said most underrated. I don't see mashed potatoes being underrated.
Homemade?
I think sweet potatoes and marshmallows are much more underrated.
We gotta go. Who won?
Zach wins.
Come on, man.
3-2. 3-2.
I'm gonna enjoy my garlic mashed potatoes.
That'll do it for the Thanksgiving episode of Laker Connection. Special thanks to Ryan Dickinson for coming on the show. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Got it all.